Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today we are discussing a goal setting workshop for 2023 to help you achieve your goals in 2023, no matter what they may be. Okay, so I'm going to go through like very simple goal setting exercises with you so we can, get ahead, get started, get figured out of where we want to go. Because if you don't have a goal, if you don't have an aim, then you've got nothing to go by. You've got no, because if you don't have a goal, then anywhere can take you there. Okay, so you got to have a goal. You got to know your destination. You got to have an idea of what you want. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do is to write down 3 goals, right? And to keep them really simple, let's have one for health, let's have a financial or career goal, and one to do with hobbies as well. So something that you can do for your soul, for yourself. Okay, so a health goal might be losing a certain amount of weight, or it could be being able to bench press something, some weights that you've never been able to do before, a certain amount. It could be like running a marathon, training for a marathon, something like that, or a 5K, anything like that, anything to do with health. It could be something as simple as not trying to not eat sugar for the whole year, right? Or refined sugars, or candies, or desserts. Maybe that could be a health goal, or it could be just something as simple as having an apple a day, something like that. A financial or career goal could be earning a certain amount of money by the end of the year. It could be getting a record amount of clients. It could be getting a promotion, something like that. So something that could be something financial or career related. A hobbies one could be reading a certain amount of books in the next year. It could be something as simple as making, 50 drawings or something to do related to your personal hobbies. It could be learning a new instrument or something like that. Okay, so 3 goals, one related with health, one related with something financial or career related, and something to do with your hobbies. Okay, so the next thing is to create an action plan. Okay, it doesn't have to be a perfect plan, just a simple plan that you can implement every day. That's not going to overwhelm you. That's not going to take too long in your mind, right? It doesn't feel like it's too much, essentially. Okay, so you're going to ask yourself the question, what do I need to do every day to achieve these goals? At least every Monday to Friday, right? Right? And make sure that these action steps are manageable, something that you can actually fit in. So you're not creating time, okay? Now, obviously, you can do that if you want to. Like, let's say, for example, you might decide, okay, I'm going to wake up an hour earlier every day so I can work on these goals. That's fair enough. You can obviously do that. But if you're already stretched for time, like I know a lot of people are, most people that watch my videos are people that already have jobs, may already have families, right? So you may be already stretched for time already. You may be getting up at, as early as possible already, right? And going to bed as late as possible already. So you might not have enough time. So let's be realistic here. It has to be something you can actually fit in. Okay, so a fitness goal, let's say you are trying to lose weight, then perhaps you exercise for 20 minutes or half an hour a day. Now, one of the things that I tell people a lot is if they've really struggled to fit things in and they've really struggled with procrastinating, then aim to just do 15 minutes if 15 minutes is all you do for that day. So you can just fit it in, you can just squeeze it in. Now, 15 minutes, everyone can do 15 minutes of something. You can squeeze in 15 minutes somewhere, I'm sure you can, okay? So if you really are stretched for time, then just do the 15-minute rule and just aim to do 15 minutes, okay? Because if you do that, at least you did 15 minutes. And what I say to most people is, if you start doing something for 15 minutes, because the hardest part is actually getting started, once you get into it and you start, okay, I'm going to do 15 minutes, once you get started, it's much more easier to continue. So let's say, okay, I'm going to do 15 minutes of writing, right? Once you get started, once you get going, it's more likely that you can actually keep on going and you can do it for longer, okay? So just aim to do 15 minutes and make sure these are things that you can squeeze in during your day, okay? So create an action plan. So what can you squeeze in to do with your health? What can you make time for to do with your health, right? What can you do every day, okay? Again, it's the same with your financial and career. a goal. What can you fit in? Maybe it is learning, like reading a magazine about your field. That could be something to do with that. It could create, filling in your knowledge gaps. It could be listening to a podcast on that certain related topic, or it could be actually doing, something productive towards that. Let's say you have a side business. Yeah, let's say you have like an Etsy shop, or you have a YouTube channel or something like that. Do something, squeeze that in. See if you can find like an extra 15 minutes, an extra half an hour here to squeeze that in and work towards that goal. Okay. And it's the same with your hobbies. So if you've got a goal to read a certain amount of books this year, then I recommend that you take 15 minutes or half an hour to do something related to that. So if it's art, then you're drawing or you're painting. If it's to do with learning an instrument, then maybe you watch like a tutorial on that and you're practicing along while that's going on, something like that. But it doesn't have to be like loads of action steps. It could be literally just one action for all three of these goals. Okay, so another thing that's going to help is if you figure out what are the roadblocks in your way. Okay, so it's a good idea to know what could actually get in your way of achieving these goals, what can get in the way of these things preventing you. Well, something could happen to prevent you from actually working on your goals. So what roadblocks are in your way? Is it your own procrastination? Is it like emergencies that may crop up? Because once you become aware of these things that can happen, you can start to figure out how you can deal with those situations when they crop up. So let's say, okay, there's an emergency. You can't, for whatever reason, you can't work on your goals that day because there's a big emergency. Okay, so figure out what you can do to fit around that. So maybe, okay, I may have to take a day here and there where I don't work on my goals, but maybe the following week I can squeeze in a little bit more to make up for that. You see, right? It's figuring out what can happen, what can ruin the plan, or what can put a roadblock in the plan, and then knowing how you're going to deal with that when that happens. Okay, because a lot of people don't do that. They just think, okay, I'm just, this roadblock got in the way. I'm just going to procrastinate and just not do it. I'm just not going to do it now because something came in the way. A lot of people have that mindset. I have that mindset, right? I used to have that mindset. Sometimes that can happen, right? Especially if it's a really big emergency and you just feel really low. You can feel pulled to not do anything at all, but you still might be able to squeeze something in. And if you really love your goals, like if you really want to achieve these goals, it shouldn't take much to twist your arm to actually achieve these goals. Okay, it shouldn't take much to make you want to work on these things. You should be in love with these goals, right, and really want to achieve them. Because if you have enough passion, if you have enough obsession for these goals, then you will achieve them. Okay, so something else, roadblocks that may come up in your way. It could be someone wants to talk to you on the phone for a lot longer than what you anticipated. How can you make up time for that? What can you do to prevent that from happening in the future? And what are you going to do when these sorts of things crop up so you can work around them, right? So it's good to know what your roadblocks may be. And if it's your own procrastination, if you're the main roadblock, then highly recommend watching videos I've made on procrastination, motivation, and also there's so many other people that talk about that stuff as well. It doesn't have to be my videos, okay? But just find a way to learn more, become more self-aware of why you may be doing these things, and then that's going to help you in the future, okay? So, what will you do then? That's a really important question. What will you do when these roadblocks happen, okay? So it could be scaling back. Another thing that may help could be scaling back. So that means just doing 15 minutes, like I said. Like perhaps if the emergency happens, you might not be able to fit in a workout, but can you fit in a 15-minute walk or something like that? You might be able to do something, okay? So find a way to work around it. So what I want you to do now is quite a simple thing, right? And that is to look at this plan and your goal every day if you can for 2023. So it's a good idea to write these things down on a bit of paper. Write down your plan on a bit of paper so you can carry it with you, or you can stick it to your mirror so you can see it every day and just read, very quickly what your plan is, to keep it fresh in your mind, to keep it at the forefront of your mind, okay? And keep a copy of that. Maybe you keep a copy of it on your smartphone or something like that, but reread these goals every day, and also your action plan so you know what you're doing. Okay? So if you do that, if you do these things, I'm not saying that you will definitely achieve the goal, because sometimes, people make up grand things. So obviously it depends on what you've written down. So if you wrote down something quite simple, like, oh, I want to fit better in my jeans as a goal, let's say, that's something that you probably could achieve this year. But if you wrote down like a financial goal of like, oh, I want to earn £1 million or $1 million, you want to earn lots of money. So if you made a goal where you want to earn lots of money, that may not happen in a year. But I'm not saying it won't. It depends if you've ever made that kind of money before. If you've made loads of money in the past and you know you can do it, then it's probably likely that you will. But if you're broke right now and you're not and you don't know if you can make £1 million or $1 million, you don't know, right? It may not happen this year. But the point is that even if it doesn't work out, you're still working towards it. So if it doesn't happen this year, it could still happen next year, or it could happen the year after that. It could happen very soon, So it depends on what your goals are. It depends on how big they are. Now, it's always good to have a big goal because that kind of excites you a little bit. I like to make big goals because that kind of really fuels me. So, I'm not saying don't have a big goal. I'm just saying that you may not work out straight away. But obviously it depends on you. You could come into some good luck. You may work really, 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 really hard and be able to achieve that. So just because I'm saying that it's unlikely that you'll be able to do that doesn't mean that you won't. I'm sure that you can if you believe that you can. So, if you do all these things, you should be able to make a good headway with some of these really big goals that you may have. And if you've got if something is related to these goals that is kind of small, that you can achieve, then you'll definitely achieve it with this little plan. Okay? So don't get demoralized if, let's say, in a few months' time, you haven't seen much progress in one of your big goals. That's fine. Okay? Sometimes things take a lot more time than others. Fitness goals, I think, can happen relatively quite fast. You can probably get a good fitness goal in within a year. But something financial, especially if it's really big, perhaps that may take a bit more time. But it depends on you and what you personally believe. Okay? So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped you, and I shall talk to you again very soon. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.